Hey there, Mellow Gaffers, and welcome to the 1% Better podcast. I'm your host, Heather. This episode's going to be very controversial, but I'm here to talk about the hard things, so buckle up. When we start eating disorder recovery, you have to be extremely selfish. Now, not selfish in a bad way, but you are the only one that can get yourself better. You come before everybody and everything. This was particularly hard for me because I'm a mom. I have to look after kids. I have responsibilities in life, and I had to delegate those responsibilities to other people because I had to focus on me and only me. When I was in my eating disorder, like deep in the eating disorder, I would focus on anything else but me. And it was just a really good excuse never to take my health seriously or my recovery seriously. Everything was fine. Look, I'm still living life. The kids are still alive. They're getting to school. Everything's fine. The bills are paid, yada, yada, yada. But that only works for so long. Because when you're concentrating on everything else but yourself, you eventually will end up where I was in the hospital, hooked up to a feeding tube and every machine known to man. So that doesn't work. Let's put it that way. You need to focus on you and be extremely selfish in this moment. I have talked to a couple people who have been to inpatient. Now, that wasn't me. I'm just going off what they've told me. And you meet people in there, which is normal, right? You're in a group, a facility with people that are just like you. And eventually you will bond with somebody because it's a trauma response. You need a friend, especially if you're younger and you're a teenager. It's very, very, very lonely. Of course you want a friend. Your family may be hundreds of miles away and not be able to come visit you every weekend. And just being there is lonely. And that's a horrible feeling. I know that feeling. But when we leave the facility and we really choose ourselves in the moment, and yes, we're going to beat this eating disorder, and yes, we're going to do everything possible that we can and work very, 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 very hard. Eventually, maybe because of social media, your friend might text you or message you and say, "Hey, how's it going?" And you meet up, and your friend hasn't changed. I want to be very crystal clear. You are not anyone's savior. You cannot help these people because, one, you're trying to save yourself at this moment. Think about an airplane. There's a reason why the oxygen masks come down, and the stewardesses tell you you put your oxygen mask on first, then you can help other people. There's a reason for that because you're no good lying on the ground, right? You can't help anybody. You need to make sure your intentions with your eating disorder are very clear and concise. It's very easy for people to bring you down with them. And I'm not saying they're doing this on purpose. But if you're fragile, and you will be, especially right in the beginning, if people are doing behaviors or saying certain things and still have disordered eating, disordered thoughts, body dysmorphia, yada, 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 list goes on, that's not helpful for you. And eventually, Slick, your eating disorder voice, will wake up and be louder and louder and louder every day. When you listen to that kind of stuff, there's no way you're gonna fight through it. There isn't. I'm gonna use Kenny Rogers for this quote. You gotta know when to hold them and know when to fold them. And it's okay to let people go. It is. And I know there's survivor's guilt in this, and I've had to try to really work through this one too. You you you're not God. You can't save them. You can't. You need to be putting everything into yourself right now. The only person who can get you better is you. And the only person who can get the other person better is them. I know it may seem mean, cruel, or you just want a friend, but you really have to understand who is a friend and who is the devil in disguise at this moment. So, with that, I really hope you continue on your path and keep going. It's a hard road. It is. It's really hard. And you can do it. You can. You can wish that other person all the best on their journey, but damn it, you cannot put piggyback them through it. You can't. It's not going to happen. Just remember, put yourself first.